She was test subject K423, the vessel of a Hersher, and the root cause of the world's and her loved ones' miseries. Would the world be a better place had she died? No matter how hard May fought, she couldn't stop Durandal. Once again, the cruel hands of fate tore them apart. The attempted reunion with Kiana at Ark City only deepened May's angst. She was too weak to stop Sheiksal, and her weakness allowed them to take Kiana. May, once hopeful that she could protect the world as a Valkyrie, realized that she simply wasn't strong enough. Bronya went into a coma to save her, Kiana was kidnapped, and her ultimate superior, Otto Apocalypse, turned out to be a scheming supervillain who would soon unleash a terrible Honkai disaster upon the entire planet. Once again, May's life entered another pivotal moment. Though Otto was born in the Three Houses, he was frail and sickly. He could only craft whimsical inventions, which naturally deprived him of inheritance. His older brothers detested his effort at self-destruction, but no one noticed his inner needs and desires. Callan was faithful and refused to sacrifice for family feuds, and thus was sentenced to hanging. Otto tried everything he could, but it was futile before the church's will. On the day of execution, the desperate Otto released Honkai Beast on the execution ground. He planned to take Callan amid the chaos, but he underestimated Callan's resolve. In the end, Callan lost her life when protecting the people. Losing the love of his life painted Otto's world gray again. Resentful, he chased after Callan's shadow. He tried to give this sad story a happy ending as she would have wanted. It was Kiana's pining for a mother's love that made her awakening possible. She created illusions to make Kiana believe that she saved her mother from sacrificing herself to end the second eruption. When she realized the great joy she experienced was elusive, she broke down and let the Hersher persona take over. Armed with the power of the Hersher within, she easily defeated numerous enemies. But all her struggles were in vain. When the rebels stepped into the heart of Sheiksal, Sirin's persona had already succeeded in fully possessing Kiana. A terrible battle followed. Sirin tore away the Gem of Conquest from May's body and acquired even greater powers. The brutal removal of the Hersher core also took May out of the fight. Teresa and the exhausted rebels withdrew from Sheiksal. They failed to stop Otto and Sirin and became fugitives on the run. The Battle of Sheiksal was yet another blow in May's life. She couldn't save her best friend. Sirin even took May's core, gaining greater powers to wreak havoc on the entire planet. And in the face of such an enemy, May's only option was to flee. In the end, to save Kiana, Himeko donned the Godsbane battle suit for Million Night, Eclipse. She defeated Hersher of the Void and injected the Spear of Destiny, a Honkai neutralizing serum, into Kiana at the expense of her life. Himeko fell into the imaginary space. May drew her blade without hesitation and ended her brief alliance with Raven. But without her Hersher gem, May was no match against Raven. The mercenary even scoffed at her, calling her no different than an ordinary human. May knew that Raven would kill Kiana once she was defeated. She decided to sacrifice herself and started concentrating Honkai energy within her. Raven was shocked. She just witnessed a coreless ex-Hersher releasing a sudden burst of terrible power. She therefore allowed May to take Kiana away. After enduring many battles and defeats, May was finally able to bring Kiana home. But then Dr. Tesla told her the bad news. The 3 Hersher cores within Kiana had overloaded her body with Honkai infection. She had less than 2 months to live. May found herself utterly helpless after hearing the bad news. She also found that Kiana had lost several senses and could not even taste the food she cooked. In the theater of domination, built by the Legion Hersher, she confronted her fate for the last time. She accepted her fate and who she was. She and the Hersher of the Void were both continuations of Siren's persona. The Hersher of the Void was Siren's hatred toward the world manifested. She was the other possibility, born from Siren's desire for love. The countless hearts that loved and helped her made this possibility a reality, turning her from test subject K423 into a Valkyrie who fights for all that is beautiful in the world, into Kiana Kaslana, who leads everyone forward. As for where her path leads to, we will soon find out. Everything that began in Nagazora would end in the same city. 3 years ago, Kiana stopped Mei from becoming a Hersher, and the two girls became best friends. And now, Mei has decided to become a Hersher once more, just to save Kiana. When the transformation is complete, Mei will have to betray her friends and join forces with the enemy. But that's the price she needs to pay. Entering the darkness is the only way she can return Kiana to bliss. At last, the fully prepared Otto returned to the beginning. Kolisten, where Schicksal's blood and tears were buried. It would become the end of his long journey. On the other side of the stage, Valkyries had readied themselves as well. Teresa would succeed as the Schicksal Overseer and lead the newborn Schicksal toward a bright future. Bronya would shoulder the weight of the Welt name, for the Hersher of Reason's path had stretched to her. Fuhua concluded a feud that spanned centuries, so she could embrace yesterday as a human and open the door to tomorrow. Kiana broke free from the shackles of fate and created a trail of flames that would guide them forward with her friends. Durandal broke through the barrier of Kaslana and earned a new heritage that only belonged to her. Valkyries were eager to settle accounts with Otto. Indeed, they won. Their crushing victory was a heavy blow to Otto. What they did not know was that their growth, their resolve, and even the joy of winning were also part of Otto's plan. What he planned for in the past 500 years was but a bargaining chip to attain death and a new life. After being defeated by Valkyries, Otto broke free from Imaginary's control momentarily. He imbued the world's wedge with all the false god's power to create infinite possibilities for Callan. As Otto left his last message, his sentience finally dissipated in the still time-space. To different people, Otto perhaps means different things. But to Otto himself, all rights and wrongs are transient. He has attained eternal peace. His life as a fool is finally over.